Hi everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to make a 5x5 shadow box frame without using any foam dots or foam strips or any kind of spacing strips or straws. But what we will use is 5 different sizes of frames that will kind of space our layers. In Cricut Design Space, I have shared with you the template. These are the frames that you will need to weld your design in. There's 2 options to cut your plastic cover. One is to cut as a top layer that covers everything. And the other one is kind of cut out just a square piece that goes behind the top layer. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make the cherry blossom shadow box from Shoppapath. The design itself, when you upload it, it measures 8.25 by 8.25. In this project, the template, you have to reduce your design to 4.25 by 4.25. So once you reduce it, make sure you ungroup them, kind of spread it out in order so you see how many layers there are, because there's only 5 frames, and each frame you will pick a design to weld into each one. This is the biggest frame, which means that goes to the very top, and it reduces down to the very bottom of the frame that gets even smaller. So the hardest part of this project is to kind of visualize how you want to kind of create a space between the layer that you want, not knowing how it looks like beforehand. So what I try to do is try to remember not to use any layer that has too many intricate cuts to weld into the frame. So the less intricate, the better to use to weld into the frame. Now this very last frame is pretty thin in width. I'll show you here. So this is, see the width there is very thin. So I can probably hold a layer on top and just one layer behind it, compared to like layer 2, it's pretty wide that it can probably hold 3 or 4 layers, top and bottom. So with that being said, make sure before we start welding, duplicate your frame and kind of put that aside just in case you make any mistake, you have a frame to go back to. So what I did in this one here, because of how the design looks for the top layer, I choose not to weld this design onto the top layer, because then I really cannot use the cover to cover, because it will add an additional width when you stack them all up, and it might not fit the frame very well. So in this project, I decided to not weld any layer to this top frame. Instead, I will cut out the plastic cover in place of it. So instead of welding any design onto that top layer, I'm gonna just cut the plastic cover right here. And I will show you that once we weld all the layer onto here. I'll show you how to assemble it. So my second frame, decided to weld this layer. Looks like layer 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, layer, the 4th layer right here. I think the number counts from biggest to smallest. So anyway, it is this layer that I decide to weld into frame 2. And then the 3rd frame, I decide to weld, looks like this layer to the 3rd frame. Then the 4th frame, decide to weld the bridge And then the last frame, decide to weld the water here. So just like that. So I'm just gonna move all these one aside here since we're not gonna do anything to it. And I'm just gonna show you how to weld. So each frame has, let me zoom in here so you could probably see better. So each frame has a score line that's attached to it. I'm gonna move this one aside. So here is the frame that we're gonna weld this design layer to. There's a score line that's attached to this frame. You want to detach that score line and kind of move it aside, and then move the layer to the frame. Make sure you move that layer to the back, because when you weld it, it will change to the color that you want. And then once that layer is in the back, go ahead and select them both. Go to Align, Center, Combine, Weld. And once that is welded, make sure you bring the score line back. Make sure the score line is actually arranged to the top so you can actually see. So bring the score line back to the frame, select them both, align, center, and then attach. So that's your first weld layer. And then the second one, you pretty much do the same thing. Repeat the process until all four or five frames are welded here. So bring that one up to the frame, arrange it to the back, select them both. Oh, let's see here. Select them both, align, center, combine, weld. Oh my, look at that little slow response. And bring the score line back. Make sure you align the score line to the front, and then select them both, align, center, attach. So that one's done. Now here's the other one here. So detach the score line, move that aside, bring the design over, move it to the back, select them both, center, and combine, weld, and then bring the score line back, arrange that to the top, select them both, align, center, attach. And now let's do the last frame here. So detach the score line, move that one aside, bring the layer over, move it to the back, select them both, align, center, combine, weld, and bring the score line back, arrange that score line to the top, select them both, align, center, and attach. So once you have that all welded, go ahead and cut your design, cut all of the layers there. And so that concludes the welding portion here. So let me show you how to assemble it. So this is what I did. So here is the top layer that I decided to cut the plastic portion. So that's the top layer here. Kind of glue the tab here inside to kind of make it into a box shape. I did use double-sided tape to glue it on, or to actually adhere it, because you really can't glue the plastic on. It doesn't stay on very well. So double-sided tape to create the box there. And then this one, here's the second frame. And then my third frame. Here's my fourth frame. And then my last frame. follow the frame there. And now, all the other layers that I cut out here. So this was the top layer and then the second layer. So I decided to glue them together. I'll glue the top and layer, the top and second layer together. And that pretty much goes right over the second frame here. And there was a layer, there's a number on it. I can't read this number, but there was another layer that's behind this one here that I went ahead and glue that layer to the back of that frame. So kind of stay right on there already. And that one just kind of go right on top. And then this was my third frame that I cut out. And then the other one behind it, I went ahead and glue it to the back of it. So this is how it looks like. And then here is the bridge. And this is the layer that goes behind this bridge, but I'm not gonna glue this onto here. I'm just gonna kind of let it loose, but that one kind of go right behind it, just like that. And then, what did I miss here? I missed something. Forgot to show you here. So these were the two green layers that goes right on top of frame 3. And I glued them both together already. And that kind of go right on top of frame 3. And then this one goes, where does this one go here? I think it goes right behind. Oh yes, so there's the other two layers that I kind of glued them together already, and that goes behind frame 3 as well. So behind, so on frame 3, I have about 3 layers behind it. So I glue one to it, and then these two I just kind of glued together, and we're not going to attach them yet. Just kind of have it sit there loosely. So that one's going to go, so it looks like this here. And then the bridge, of course, and then the one that goes right behind it that I am not going to glue. And then I have the last frame with this layer that goes right on top of it. So this one's going to go right on top of the water there. And then the very last 2 layers, I decided to just go ahead and glue them together and use a double-sided tape to adhere to the actual wooden frame right here. Okay, now I want to show you my plastic cover. So this is what I use. It is called cake collar. It's what bakers use to kind of hold the cake up right there. I have this quite a while back, so I'm not sure what size this is, but it's pretty thick and it's almost like the acetate. You can use any plastic cover. I think it will work just as well. And then my tape that I use, kind of thin strip here. It's a double-sided tape. I think I got this from scrapbooking.com. And mainly this is what I use when I deal with any kind of plastic. It covers them very well. So anyway, so this is the first, the top cover. And you want to arrange everything, kind of stack everything from kind of top to bottom. Just kind of stack them all together like this. Okay. Just stack them all in order. Just like that. Oops. Goes in. This one doesn't want to come. There you go. Stack them in order. And there's some more. So there it is. So it fit in nicely. So you want to stack them in order first before you actually put them into the frame. Okay, because you don't want any of these to fall out yet. So once you have it all stacked in there, go ahead and arrange it into the frame right here. I got the right side here. Just don't glue. Just make sure you don't glue any of the frame together. It's gotta be loose. Just kind of stack it on top of each other. And once that is done, put it into the frame here. So this is how it looks like. Push it in. It fits snugly, just like that. And you're gonna tap it down a little bit, and that will loosen up the spacing of the frame inside, so it gives you a nice 3D look at the depth of it right there. Now this one here, you don't have to glue or do anything else. It fit really nicely, but if you really want to secure it and you're ready that there's no more modifications needed, then you can get the double-sided tape and put it on the outside. So right now you want to, you can still modify because you haven't really secured anything down. So just kind of tap it out like this a little bit and it will fall out. So there you go. So it will fall out. But once you're ready, you can get the double-sided tape and kind of peel it, put it right on the edge here, and then push it back in. And that will secure this frame right into the wooden frame. But once it is secure, you're not gonna be able to remove it. So you gotta make sure that you are absolutely positive that there's no more changes needed before you do that. But anyhow, I hope this will help you guys create more shadow box. Thanks for watching. So excited to share this, and hopefully I'll see a lot of shadow box being made. Have a good day. Bye.